And welcome to Camping in Nature, Chapter 3, part of John's Eclectic Photo Time Adventure Series, Episode 25. John awoke from his late afternoon nap to the sound of a soft breeze rustling through the cottonwood trees near his campsite. The air had cooled slightly since the scorching midday sun, and a deep amber light now spilled through the branches, hinting that evening was on its way. Tonight would be different. Tonight, he was not just chasing stars or the Milky Way. Tonight, John was determined to capture the distant wonders of the universe itself. A recap of the journey so far. The past 2 days had been nothing short of extraordinary. On the first night, perched high above a quiet Texas valley, John's Canon R5 Mark II had recorded a brilliant star trail sweeping across the heavens. His Canon R6 Mark II had captured multiple Milky Way arcs, each photo etched with the soft hues of interstellar dust. The next morning, Chapter 2 had begun with a chorus of nature. John awoke to bird songs and the faint trickle of water nearby. After a quick breakfast, he set out with his photography gear for an ambitious 8-mile trek to the legendary Gorman Falls. The waterfall's delicate veil of water cascading over moss-covered rocks was mesmerizing, and he spent hours capturing its beauty in long exposure shots, the silky motion of water frozen perfectly in time. But tonight, Chapter 3, John's ambition soared even higher. Not only did he plan to capture another star trail and Milky Way arc, but he had brought along 2 prized tools for astrophotography: the C-Star 50S telescope, which would help him photograph the Lagoon Nebula, also known as Messer 8, and his GTI Star Watcher tracking mount, tasked with locking on to the Crescent Nebula, NGC 6888, for an ethereal cloud of gas some 5,000 light-years away from Earth. The overlook at sunset. With a backpack full of gear and the excitement of the night ahead fueling his steps, John left camp well before sunset. The overlook was a perfect vantage point, perched above the valley with an unobstructed view of both the western and eastern horizons. He arrived just as the sun began its slow descent, painting the Texas sky in shades of crimson, gold, and violet. John wasted no time. Setting up his tripod and mounts, he carefully aligned each camera for its specific task. His R5 Mark II was angled to capture the sweeping star trails over the northern sky. His R6 Mark II was primed for Milky Way arcs, timed perfectly with the galaxy's rise. Nearby, the C-Star 50S and GTI Star Watcher stood like futuristic sentinels, awaiting their celestial targets. Before the stars emerged, John focused on the sun. Using his wide-angle lens, he captured a series of breathtaking images: a sunburst breaking through thin clouds, its rays radiating across the sky. The clouds, scattered and vibrant, seemed to dance in the fading light, each frame looking like a painting of fire and silk. Blue hour and anticipation. As blue hour began to settle over the horizon, John took a test panorama of the eastern sky. He knew that in just a short while, the Milky Way would climb from behind the rolling hills. The color of the sky shifted from soft blue to a rich, velvety indigo, and he snapped several test frame shots to capture the transition. One particular frame caught his eye. A distant green light softly illuminated a lone pine on the horizon, giving the scene an almost mythical feel. Impatient, John took his first Milky Way arc of the night. The image, when reviewed on his camera screen, revealed a distant city glow, nearly 50 miles away. At first, the glow was yellow, but as night deepened, it shifted to an eerie orange hue, mingling within thin clouds that drifted in like phantoms. The result was surreal, an earthreal sky glowing softly as if backlit by some unseen force. A night of celestial wonders. Hours passed. John alternated between monitoring his star trail exposures and checking the progress of his telescopes. Each frame of the Milky Way grew sharper, richer, and more magical. After 2 hours of careful shooting, he captured the final Milky Way arc of the night. This one with a fairy glow along the horizon, as if the heavens themselves were ablaze. Meanwhile, the C-Star 50S telescope had locked on to the Lagoon Nebula, M8, producing a vivid, almost three-dimensional image of a pinkish-red gas cloud swirling around newborn stars. At the same time, the GTI Star Watcher had successfully tracked NGC 6888, the Crescent Nebula, revealing delicate arcs of ionized gas shaped like a cosmic seashell. It was a night of triumph. With the sky clear enough to continue, John felt as if the universe had opened a window just for him. Processing under the stars. Returning to camp just past midnight, John sat outside his tent beneath the very stars he had been photographing all evening. A soft breeze carried a scent of cedar, and the quiet was broken only by the distant calls of a night bird. He transferred the images to his laptop, processing around 90 of the 300 frames he had captured for his star trails. The result was mesmerizing. 2 separate star trail images, one sweeping gracefully across the northern sky, and another forming a radiant spiral over the valley. As he worked, he also processed the Whirlpool Galaxy M51 images from Night 1, a project that had taken hours of stacking and refinement. The final photo revealed a delicate spiral of stars, dust lanes, and glowing cores, proof of the beauty that lies far beyond the reaches of the naked eye. Miya's reply. With a satisfied smile, John exported a few finished images and sent them via text to Miya. The message read simply, "Wish you were here. Look what I caught tonight." Though she was hundreds of miles away on a business trip, Miya's response came almost instantly. "They look wonderful." It was enough to make John feel as if she were there beside him, gazing up at the same stars. And with that, camping in nature concluded, not just as a photography adventure, but as a quiet celebration of wonder, solitude, and the infinite universe above. And please join us next time for Milky Way, Hall, Texas, part of John's Eclectic Photo Time Adventure, episode 26. And we hope you enjoyed Chapter 3 of Camping in Nature. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. Thank you.